All right, partygoers, welcome back to Zero Dark Nerdy, the galaxy's most average pop culture podcast. This is your boy Brian, aka El Nino, and today I'm joined with.
Jordan, aka Baby Knife.
There we go. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month out there, everybody, right smack dab in September through October, right?
Yeah,
I think
September 15th through October 15th.
There we go. We've never done a Hispanic Heritage Month episode, so, for our peeps, we wanted to, of course, talk about the news of Bad Bunny getting ready to do the halftime show at the Super Bowl. And, we got our list of, let me have you explain it since this was actually your idea for this little kind of Mount Rushmore going
Sure.
on.
We're just gonna quickly chat about Bad Bunny's announcement in the halftime show because we're Puerto Rican if you haven't figured it out. So obviously our excitement is there. And then we're also gonna talk about basically get into so if you've seen Bad Bunny's show, his residency in Puerto Rico that he just wrapped up, he does it on a stage with the Hacienda, a big house, and like the party just goes on for the whole 3 hour show in the hacienda, and that's where you've seen like the guest stars, celebrities make appearances and like have fun. Penelope Cruz, Javier Bardem. The list literally goes on and on. The people who have John Hamm.
Mm-hmm,
um,
mm-hmm. Honorary.
yeah, so he does his whole show on stage on this hacienda, and so we're basically gonna go down descending order our top five um, celebrities, fictional characters, famous people that if we were
Athletes.
at Bad Bunny's concert, who we'd want to party with on the Hacienda stage.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about, of course, why we would want them to be our picks to party with us, but also why we just love them in general.
You know, our theme from day one here at Zero Dark Nerdy is everybody love everybody. We're just, showing some special love to our culture and heritage. At the end of the day, everybody love everybody. That's really
Yes.
what it's all about. So,
But our lists are, I forgot to mention, our lists are exclusive to Hispanic or Latin actors, actresses, musicians, fictional characters because it's Hispanic
yep,
Heritage Month.
athletes. Exactly. Just showing some love during Hispanic Heritage Month. As always, be sure to check out our website, popculturepodcast.com. And of course, on my Fox 8, myfox8.com/Zero Dark Nerdy, or go to the Fox 8 WGHP YouTube page, and then just look under playlist for Zero Dark Nerdy, where you can see all of our episodes since we started streaming with them on September 1st. And again, big shout outs to my Fox 8 for having us on the team. So yeah, let's talk about it. Announcement was made early last week, I believe,
I think so.
on the Super Bowl halftime show announcement that Puerto Rico's very own Bad Bunny was going to be doing the halftime show. Of course, there was some comments made, a lot of stuff going on. At the end of the day, right? We know we're not going to make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to be happy no matter what. As I always tell my daughter and my friends, even the Grand Canyon gets negative Yelp reviews. It's just a part of life, right? We wanted to just talk about it real quick and then, kind of get to our Hacienda, top five that we would like to party with and rage with if we were at a Bad Bunny concert, which if you haven't checked it out, it's on Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
They showcased his last concert during the residency. To be quite honest with you, it's a spectacle. It's a spectacle of, not just the music, but the pride of our people. It brought in over $200 million to the economy in Puerto Rico. A lot of you may not know this. The economy is not fantastic. Tourism is really the big one, and it used to be pharmaceuticals for a while. But even though there's still some pharmaceutical companies down there, tourism is still the number one moneymaker. So, big thank you to Bad Bunny for doing the 30 show residency in the motherland, I guess you could say. So, Jordan, when you heard the news about Bad Bunny doing the halftime show, what were your thoughts on it?
I was super excited, obviously, because the residency had just come out on Prime, his last show, and I watched it, and it was amazing. Long, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But what a party. And I can't believe he did that for 31, 32 days.
Yeah,
Oh my God, like 3 hour show. That's
yeah.
wild. And like changing sets and no, the set stays the same, the hacienda, but he's moving kind of to
Mm-hmm.
different pieces of it.
Wardrobe changes,
Yeah,
all that
many, like
stuff.
5 or 6 wardrobe changes
Not
probably.
long breaks either.
No. So I mean, it's gonna be great. I mean, I'm super proud to be Puerto Rican. Um, and I can say that even though I'm like, I wouldn't even consider myself bilingual. Do I want to be? Very much, and I'm
Hmm.
on that journey to learn Spanish, at that level where I know the dialect too. But that just kind of shows that like you don't need to understand everything he's saying or know word for word to enjoy the music and have a good time, because I'm telling you, like, if you just get excited for it, um and again, like, if you love Gasolina, which I know you do, if you say you don't, you're lying. Like, we know that you do. People of all races, all color, all backgrounds, we know you love Gasolina. If you get hyped for that in the club, which again I know you do, like, this is going to be a very similar experience. So just get excited to hear some really good music. Again, I do not know all the words and I don't know what all the words mean. Um, but Google the lyrics if you dare. There will be he has some risque songs, but yeah, he has some really awesome songs about also just being proud of his heritage as well and his culture and his island, his environment, everything about it. He's a very relevant artist at this time for many reasons. So I think it's a good idea to just kind of allow yourself to give into it and be excited for it and get ready to dance. If you don't understand the words, that's fine, but you're gonna understand how that music sounds. So
Well
yeah.
said. So, back to what she was saying, in the same boat, right? As even though Spanish was my first language and I was born in Puerto Rico, big shout outs to my family here in the States and, of course, back in the motherland, especially my wonderful parents, her abuelo and abuela, Al and Grace. Love you so much. Growing up, it was one of those things to where we, as kids, my sisters and I would tell our parents not to talk to us in Spanish because we were like embarrassed by it and we wanted them to speak English in front of our friends. And I don't have many regrets in life. I do believe that our choices, whether good or bad, lead us to where we're supposed to be. And don't get me wrong, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, but I do wish that they would have been tougher on us about continuing to speak language. And I wish, as Jordan was growing up, we would have spoke more Spanish to her as well. But at the end of the day, too, it's not too late. Like, I definitely understand way more than I can speak. And just like Jordan, I don't know all the words. And to be honest with you, of everyone in the family, I'm not going to say I like him least. I like Bad Bunny, but I probably don't know as much of his songs as my sisters do. Big shout outs, Janet,
Hmm.
Janice, of course, our brother in law, Kyle. They've seen him in concert a few times. Our tios and titis that love him as well. I probably have the least amount of knowledge to the Bad Bunny catalog, but the songs I like, I love, even if I don't understand them. And one thing I've been trying to do, as well as watching Narcos to brush up on my Spanish, is as I'm listening to the songs now, I'm trying to tune in more on the
Hmm.
words so I can actually get better at repeating it because I do want to get better at Spanish. Even though I can speak enough to get by, I definitely know I can learn more and I definitely understand more than I can speak, but I would like to be fluent in it again. So, with that being said, just be open minded. Just like she said with Daddy Yankee, I DJ'd for a long time, especially in the early mid 2000s when reggaeton was really hitting the forefront, and I didn't see a lot of people complaining when Daddy Yankee came on, especially Gasolina.
No.
So, yeah, this whole performance may be in Spanish, but music is universal.
Hmm.
It's if I could say intergalactic, to be quite honest with you. And shout out to the Beastie Boys, but I'm sure in other parts of the galaxy there's music out there as well. So at the end of the day, just open up your mind to it. You might end up enjoying it, and yeah, just because you don't understand the lyrics or know the words doesn't mean you're not going to have a good time at the halftime show. Also, too, I mean, enjoy the game. Most importantly, it's about the game. The halftime show has been, an added delight. And I believe Jay-Z and company have done a pretty good job over the artists that they've had, especially since Apple Music and Rock Nation took over. So, yeah, you're not going to make everybody happy,
No, of course
but
not.
what can you do? So, we're excited about it. You know, this episode is not just for it's for everybody, really. But of course, a big shout out to our family and the Hispanics out there, and especially Bad Bunny. If you don't know his story, you know, the guy came from nothing. You know, he wasn't a YouTube sensation or a trust fund baby or anything like that. A lot of people didn't think his music was going to go anywhere. And, you know, a lot of artists, especially when they speak in their own tongue, don't become successful worldwide. And he has done that.
He's
And
been number one
yeah,
on all streaming platforms, multiple, not like right now to
right.
say, but like multiple times he's done that.
Yeah.
Been number one globally on
Yep.
Spotify. Like,
Yeah.
so that has to say something about his global impact and how many
Exactly.
people, even if you don't know his music, a lot of people do.
Yep.
So he's very, again, really relevant artist.
Exactly.
to be
Because, I mean,
performing.
especially coming up in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you had Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, even Mark Anthony, they started doing albums in English to get more of the American market, especially with MTV when they actually used to show music videos once upon a time.
Right.
And I mean, that's how they achieved success. Even though globally they'd done very well, it was very hard for them to get into the American market without having a full English album. And for more and more artists now to be able to do that, you look at K-pop, you know, things like that. So not just Bad Bunny, but other artists with other dialects and languages doing well worldwide because it's about the music more than it is understanding the lyrics. It's just a testament to where how far music has come, and you know, especially thanks to streaming platforms and things like that too.
Yeah.
So with the you know, Hacienda, we you know, we both picked 5 people on who we'd like to party with if we were at a Bad Bunny concert, or let's just say at the Super Bowl halftime show with some of our fellow Hispanics out there. So Jordan, I'm gonna let you kick this list off.
Okay. My list is rather creative.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna start out of the box immediately. My number 5 is Paddington the Bear.
Wow.
Paddington the Bear, if you don't know, he is Peruvian. He was geographically displaced, but he is from Peru. That's why I haven't seen Paddington in Peru yet, but I really want to. Paddington's a great movie. Not off topic, but movie plot.
I heard it's great. I
Paddington.
heard the second one is phenomenal.
I cried in the first 5 minutes of the first Paddington. But Paddington the Bear, and I have my own selfish reasons for this. I think it'd be great to, like, you know how Paddington, he always is getting in these like adventures accidentally. I want him to get like trapped in one of the tour boxes and somehow transported to El Sapo Concho, which is Bad Bunny's little concho frog that talks throughout the show, and he's stuck throughout the show. He's stuck in some like Arctic place, which there's lots of theories about and whatnot. But Peru is snowy, so I'm thinking maybe El Sapo Concho is stuck in Peru, and Paddington goes there and he helps El Sapo Concho make his way back to Puerto Rico. Because throughout the Bad Bunny show, the whole show he's trapped in this like, yeah, again, like this Arctic place kind of, and he's like FaceTiming Bad Bunny and whatnot. And so I think that'd be a great story. If somebody makes that into a thing, you have to include me.
Hey, us.
I feel like it's a great idea. The El Sapo Concho and Paddington collab would be so cute. They have very different personalities. I think that would. There's something there. Yeah. I think Paddington would enjoy the show as well.
I love that. I love that. Great pick. She definitely went a little bit more creative. I went straightforward, you know, new school, old school. And mine is in no particular order, by the way. These are just actors and actresses that I feel are just tremendous, some of my favorites, and that I'd love to party with. My first one coming up is Luis Guzman. I think he is one of the most talented Puerto Rican and Hispanic and just actors in general. You know, he's been in the game for 40 years, has, you know, 69 years old and just keeps getting better and better. You know, I remember seeing him back in Boogie Nights, in Carlito's Way, which shout out, Carlito Brigante would probably be my fictional character, Al Pacino from Carlito's Way. So that would be my fictional guy I'd like to party with. But yeah, I just feel like he doesn't get enough credit, and he is just such a talent. Some of my favorite characters of his is Radimus from the movie Waiting, which is pretty much Jack Astor's The movie. If you haven't seen the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, please go check it out. I probably talk about it at least once a year on this podcast minimum. And I guess you can say not really more recently, but I love his character as Rene Calderon in How to Make It in America. One of my favorite shows. 2 seasons long. Watch it on HBO Max. 30-minute episodes. Great cast, great story. Filmed on location in New York, and he's fantastic. So Luis, love you, Poppy. Hopefully see you at the halftime show. Who knows?
Yes, that was a good pick. I knew you would pick more of the like actors, so I left that to you as well. But my number 4 is Salma Hayek.
Nice.
I love Salma Hayek. I haven't seen a ton of her movies. They're all on my huge watch list on Letterboxd of movies I gotta get to. But obviously her Oscar-nominated role in Frida made a huge impact on me. That was a phenomenal performance. And then, you know, I've seen Grown Ups, obviously, and whatnot, but there's lots I haven't seen, like Dusk Till Dawn.
I'm sorry. I'm failing as a parent in that one.
And I pick her basically just based on vibes. Like, I feel like she's really wise, and her voice really is soothing to me. And so I feel like it'd just be fun to talk to her. Like, I picked a lot of people who I feel like if I get overstimulated in the Hacienda on stage, that they would go hide with me somewhere inside of the Hacienda, and like we would just have a great conversation. But I think she'd also have a lot of fun and dance and stuff too. When I went to her Instagram to kind of just like scope her out and more of her like vibe on social media, her Instagram bio is like 80 emojis and that's it. It's like 6 lines of emojis, so I feel like that's a good time. She's definitely fun. So yeah, I love Salma Hayek. I basically want to be her when I'm her age. I believe she's 59.
Goodness gracious.
And still looks
29.
30 at most.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, I just love her, and I feel like she would bring good vibes to the stage.
Good choice.
That's my number 4.
Good choice. Yeah, we got a lot of good ones here. I'm going to switch it up, go with our lady, Zoe Saldana. God bless you. You are just a treasure.
Yes.
Just a tremendous actress in general. You know, I even love her T-Mobile commercials, and I cannot stand T-Mobile commercials. So just a pure talent. She has been in, let me make sure I got this right, 4 of the top 7 grossing movies of all time. Wild to know that she's a part of that. I mean, residual checks alone, she probably never has to act again if she never wants to. You know, you could just see the passion in what she does, whether if it's Avatar, whether if it's her playing Gamora. Yes. You know, I kind of first really started digging her in a movie called The Losers, which is a comic book movie, not very well known, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans, Justin Long. Check it out. It is Idris Elba's in it. Check it out. It's a super fun movie. You can usually find it on like HBO Max or Netflix or Hulu.
Add it to my Letterboxd.
Yeah, add it to your Letterboxd. The Losers. Check it out. A really fun comic book based movie. Kind of like, I don't want to say it's like The Boys, because nobody on here has superpowers. These are really more like mercenaries. And then, of course, there's like a cat and mouse game and then a plot twist. But that's where I first, I believe, I don't want to say discovered Zoe, but I was like, oh, who is this? And then, of course, over the years, she's just been crushing it. Favorite characters, as I mentioned, Gamora, she's fantastic. And then I believe, I could mess this up, I believe her name is Aisha in The Losers. So big shout out to Zoe. Again, hopefully see you at the halftime show. And if you haven't seen The Losers yet, I'm telling you, with that all-star cast, check it out. Very fun, unknown comic book movie that normally doesn't get ranked up there because either people don't realize it was based on a comic book or it's just really like the diehard fans that do. But definitely check it out. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. That cast is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is Pedro Pascal, obviously. He's Chilean. He's just he seems like an awesome guy that I'd love to meet. I feel like he'd be super chill and lots of fun. I know he would act up and go crazy. He would be one of the really fun ones to be on the stage with. Yeah. And obviously his story is crazy. Basically went from, I believe he's a child in exile from Chile.
Yeah,
Chile.
yeah. His parents moved here
He went
because of that.
from, yeah, exile to, having essentially nothing, being a super starving artist for years and years and years, and, only recently broke out. And I forget how old he is.
I would
40s?
say
I think he's in his
yeah,
40s.
late 40s, early 50s.
But recently broke out in a huge way. I think it kind of started with Game of Thrones,
Oh,
and
it
then
did.
it kind of just ramped
Then
up
Narcos, and then
super
just
fast. And obviously The Last of Us, Star Wars, Fantastic Four, and it just like it's not ending. And I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon.
nope.
So I'm super happy for him
We're here for it.
as an actor. I think he's awesome. Yeah, again, I think he'd be super fun to have on stage. I
Oh,
feel like
agreed.
he'd really enjoy the moment.
Seeing him have fun doing this at the SNL 50th, and I gotta say, Pedro, I thought I had a dope T-shirt collection. I swear,
Oh yeah, he
every
does.
interview he's in, I'm like, that's my competition right there.
Yeah.
Just the bands in particular, and certain movies, but primarily his band T-shirt game, top notch.
Yes.
And for those that are, oh, he's everywhere. Come on, give the
You're
guy a
just
break.
mad.
You, as an actor or actress, this is
Mad
what
to
you
be mad.
aspire to. For the most part, is to get roles, to not have to audition 24/7 just to get a few lines in a show that may or may take off.
Like,
you
God
know,
forbid he's not a nepo baby. I'm
Right.
sorry if that's contra, but like, his story is incredible.
Yeah.
Like this is such a rare life that he has. And so,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's Hollywood at the end of the day. If, he struck big with Game of Thrones and whatnot, and like HBO shows will do that to you, where they'll take your career to
Yeah.
extreme heights.
Yeah.
Because they're great shows. And
Yep.
so it's nothing that I would get mad over. It's Hollywood just being Hollywood, but
Yep.
also at the same time, he really does seem to deserve this. So,
Yeah, and like I said, Narcos, love him in that. And our boy Boyd Holbrook, who we got to meet at Comic-Con a few years back, is phenomenal. And if you've not checked out the first 3 seasons of Narcos, please do yourself a favor. And it's one of my favorite rewatches. So, yeah, gotta keep things moving out there. So, going back here, I gotta go with one of my top ones, if not my number one. Like I said, I know it's not in any order, but I've been such a huge John Leguizamo fan since I was a kid. Just a great, phenomenal actor, not just a phenomenal Spanish actor, a phenomenal actor, period, on stage as well as on screen. He's actually born in Bogota, Colombia, but he's got some Puerto Rican in him as well. Just, his vibe, his aura, like
Yeah.
everything about him.
he's very genuine.
Oh,
I would
100%
imagine. He's
genuine.
very
Well, we've had the pleasure of meeting him at New York Comic Con.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So we've met him
His
a couple
comic
times.
book.
Yeah.
His Puerto Rican comic book that I don't
Yep,
know,
he
had
did a
hand
comic
in.
book, so we got to meet him for that. And then Ashley and I've never seen my wife smile so big during a picture before. After we got our picture with John Leguizamo, I was like, where'd this smile come from?
Oh,
So, yeah, just seems like a great time. And at the end of the day, one of my all-time favorites, period. Like, when we are talking about doing a Mount Rushmore episode, and he's up there for me. Like I said, not just as a Hispanic actor, but as an actor in general. And then just kind of rally off here. Ava Mendez, God bless you. Of course, being married to Ryan Gosling doesn't hurt, but she is just a treasure. 2 of my favorite characters, Sheila Gamble and the other guys, where she's married to Will Ferrell, and of course, as I think it's Romina in A Place Beyond the Pines. Such a force of a movie. And last but definitely not least, one of the OGs, Benicio del Toro, Puerto Rican actor. Been a big fan of his since he played Fenster in The Usual Suspects, another phenomenal movie. And his portrayal as Alejandro in both Sicario films, even though the first one is vastly better than the second one. He's just a performance machine. Can't wait to see him in the latest film with Leo. What is it? I want to say Everything Everywhere.
No, yeah, it's
Every
a big
battle.
title.
Every battle.
Every battle. You guys know what we're talking
You know
about.
what we're talking about. The newest movie with him and Leo, we've heard nothing but great things. And hopefully going to be checking it out here in the next few days. So big thank you to this list here. Real quick honorable mentions before we go to Jordan. Raul Julia, came up with him with the Addams Family. the pride of Puerto Rico, lost him way too early due to stomach cancer complications. I just remember as a kid just being a big fan of his, especially his performance, even though it wasn't the greatest movie in Street Fighter. But, especially as Gomez Adams, really, he set the bar up here for everyone else.
Now,
Luis Guzman is he's the more cartoon accurate version of him, but Raul was a beast in that role. And my last honorable mention, Syracuse's very own Carmelo Anthony. I believe he is half Puerto Rican. He's put up different basketball camps and basketball facilities there. Helped bring Syracuse our one and only national title. I would say he's in my top 10 all-time basketball players. Never won a championship, but that's my list.
Nice. Okay, my number 2 is another wild one, but fictional characters are included. You can't tell me that having Puss in Boots on stage for the Bad Bunny concert wouldn't be amazing. Puss in Boots, he's Spanish. Yeah, voiced by, who is that?
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas, and Puss in Boots are great movies. I love those movies of the Shrek universe. And then Puss in Boots and Salma Hayek, who plays, I think her role in the sequel is Kitty Softpaws. They could catch up on each other's lives, so I feel like they would. I kind of looked at this as a group where we could all have fun and talk and relate. And so I thought about everybody. So Puss in Boots and Salma Hayek could catch up after she was in the sequel. So yeah, I think Puss in Boots would be absolutely breaking it down on stage. That would be awesome to see.
He's got moves.
Yeah.
He's got moves.
And my number 1 is the great Aubrey Plaza.
Woo!
Half Puerto Rican queen. She's awesome. That's just an actress I've always loved since Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And I'll just watch anything that she's in at this point. She was in Legion, that X-Men show that was on briefly.
Mm-hmm. Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, she's in all sorts of stuff. Agatha all along. She's now in the Marvel universe as Lady Death. So that's awesome. I'm excited for that and anything else she does.
She's just a monster in every role.
I just want to talk to her and hang out. She's another one that I feel like would be more than happy to step away if we got too overstimulated and just talk about wild stuff or whatever. But I feel like we'd also have a good time dancing behind the DJ set too.
Agreed.
Yeah. Aubrey Plaza is definitely my number 1 pick. But just selfishly, I just want to meet her really bad. I don't know how much she'd love the Bad Bunny concert, but yeah, I'd love to meet her and go to a Bad Bunny concert with her if she would like to. Aubrey, do you want to go to the Super Bowl halftime show with me?
There we go. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to get to the Super Bowl. So if any of you can help us out with that, it would be great. Bad Bunny, Boricua to Boricua, we will take them. So thank y'all. Hopefully we enjoyed it. Like I said, this episode, yes, it's dedication to our families and our heritage, but we hope it's for everyone. We also try to be open-minded, no matter what it is. At the end of the day, I don't want to say no matter what it is, but I guess that's the best advice we can give, right? Everybody love everybody and just be open-minded. Whether if it's a halftime show or you're going somewhere, seeing something, it might not be your cup of tea, but it's someone else's. And as long as it's respectful and not geared towards hate, then go to it. We do not advocate hate in any form at all whatsoever. So, except for the Cowboys. That's about it.
Cowboy slander accepted.
Cowboy slander is accepted. But on behalf of Baby Knife, this is your boy El Nino. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Huepa!
Huepa, huepa, huepa. Te quiero mi familia. And we'll see y'all soon. Peace.